She called it her little secret. For years, as she grew up on Tyneside, Imogen didn't want anyone to know she was caring for her mother. Now she wants people to hear what happened to her family in the hope that it'll help other young carers speak out and find support. So this is Imogen's story in her own words.
I'm Imogen, I'm 16, I live with my mum and dad in Tynemouth. I'm just like any other teenager, but I've been keeping a huge secret.
I couldn't tell my friends because I didn't understand it, I didn't think they would understand it.
I'm her mother and I should be looking after her.
I think it's unfair that Imogen has to carry this burden so early in life.
But now I'm ready to talk about it. I know it's the only way I can make a difference.
I do want to make a change and I do want to get this recognised because I don't want anyone else to go through what I've gone through.
I had a happy childhood, but when I was 9, that changed forever.
I can just remember seeing my mum lying on the floor with like nurses and stuff, like keeping her down, like being sedated and stuff.
I didn't understand what was happening, but my mum had been sectioned and spent weeks in a mental hospital. Since then, I've been her carer, and I never told anyone about it.
It was like lumping around an extra backpack every single day, like having to hide it.
So why did I keep it a secret for so long?
In all honesty, I don't think it ever occurred to me to go and tell someone. I just didn't think it was the thing to do, so just hid it, dressed like everyone else and put a smile on my face.
I've got bipolar disorder. Your mood changes from one of elation and high spirits and mania to one of deep depressions. I think she was worried about mentioning it in case she didn't get taken seriously or in case people laughed at me.
She doesn't really do much when she's depressed because she just doesn't feel up to it. I just do stuff like, well, the washing up, tidying the kitchen, trying to tidy the house, and the bathroom's my job. Me and my dad kind of split them in half instead of splitting them in threes between the whole family. Me and Dad have a very close relationship, and I think we work as a team quite well most of the time.
We both feel that this is a bit of a tall order, but Imogen is proving to be very robust.
But the hardest part of being mum's carer isn't doing the dishes or cleaning the bathroom, it's the worry.
I can't sleep if my mum's still awake because I worry in case she does something or in case she feels lonely or just something like that. I just worry about her. I don't like her being on her own. She has before gone and bought things on eBay at about 3 o'clock in the morning. I worry about that happening, but that's generally just in the times of mania that I have to worry about it.
We never used to worry about money.
I had quite a successful career actually. I had a well-paid job, a chartered accountant. So financially it made a drastic difference when I was unable to work.
When I was little, they both had very well-paid jobs, and obviously I was at a private school. I was spoilt as a child. I know I was spoilt as a child. And then I think it was in the time going from having a lot of money to not having a lot of money that it caused me the most stress because I wasn't used to it. But now that, well, I've not got that much money, I've kind of got used to it, and I know that we can survive without the ridiculous amount of money.
When one's in a manic mood, you tend to have very grandiose ideas and schemes.
She comes up with quite a lot of fantastic, really, ideas when she's manic that never really seem to work out that well.
I bought about £10,000 worth of ball gowns with a business idea that I'd got.
It didn't work out so well. They're still in storage now.
I very nearly bought a JCB.
Looking back on it, it seems completely ridiculous, which is why I keep laughing.
I had thought it was quite a small JCB, but it turned out it was a full-size JCB.
Flying pigs, chameleon USB things, little booties for babies, and robot guinea pigs.
I've spent very large amounts of money, which has left the family in financial difficulties. I did actually have to declare myself bankrupt.
I'm just hoping he's going to behave today. I had to change schools because we couldn't afford the fees, and now my dad does a paper round. It helps pay for Morocco, my only escape.
I don't know, in all honesty, I don't know where I'd be without him. I see him every single day. I kind of rely on him to keep me calm and to get me through things.
I could talk to Morocco about my secret life as a carer when I couldn't tell anybody else.
I talk to him quite a lot. I tell him about just my day and how everything's going. I mean, he probably doesn't listen. It's someone to tell it to get it off my chest.
But talking to Morocco wasn't enough. A year ago, I hit rock bottom.
I've had times where I've literally just wanted to crawl up into bed, fall asleep and never wake up because I didn't know what to do and I didn't think I could handle it.
Then I found out about this young carers group in North Shields. It's changed my life.
For me, it's just about coming and relaxing, and it's just to be around people that kind of understand and that are kind of going through the same situation, or they're always there if you need them.
The main difference I think it's made is that it's just made me feel a bit better about my situation.
For the first time, I could talk openly about being a young carer. It's a massive relief.
I was ecstatic after I got back from my first carers meeting. I was so relieved to know that there were other people. I was literally bouncing around the house because it was like, I'm not the only one. I can be normal to an extent anyway.
It had just made such a big difference to her, and I think if that had been there for her, especially when she was younger, would have given her a lot more confidence.
There are about 700,000 young carers like me in this country, many of us falling through the cracks, and no one seems to notice us.
People were well aware in the mental health services of the fact that we had a daughter, and I had no information given to me at all as to what support would be available for her.
None of them clocked on that this child has been losing a lot of weight due to illness, this child is losing a lot of education due to illness, this child is also looking after her mum. Could these two things be related?
I struggled for 6 years without any support. I want to stop this happening to other kids. That's why I'm telling you my story, and I'm off to London to meet Moira Fraser, who runs a carers charity.
My dad was given information about like a support group for him, and my mum was given information about a support group for her, but I wasn't given anything.
What happened to you is unfortunately really quite common, and I'm really sorry to say that, but we hear it all the time. And I think that's a really key point that we need to get across to the professionals involved, the social workers, the doctors, the psychiatric nurses. Have a look at who else is in that house. Have a look at who is supporting the person with a mental health problem.
So what are you doing to make a change for young carers?
Last week, when we went to number 10, a young carer came with us and spoke to a number of ministers and gave a letter to the Prime Minister about her experiences, which he responded to. We've also done some work with schools. We'd like to see every school having a member of staff who's responsible for young carers and can really make sure that everyone in the school, pupils and teachers, know that young carers are important and need to be supported.
I think the meeting's gone really well. I've learned more than I knew before. Moira's invited me to come back to possibly talk to some MPs, which I'd find amazing. A year ago I never thought I'd be doing this, and obviously I still find it hard to talk about the past and everything, but I really think I could make a change.
If, having seen what Imogen's been through, you'd like more information on organisations that can help, then we've details coming up at the end of the show.
And as Chris said, if you'd like details of organisations which offer advice and support for young carers, go online or call the BBC Action Line to hear recorded information on 08000 560 780. Lines are open 24 hours and are free from a landline. Mobile operators will charge.